Malcolm McDowell suffered a real injury while shooting A Clockwork Orange. Inspired by Anthony Burgess' book, the renowned Stanley Kubrick movie explores the perils of unethical psychological experimentation on prisoners. McDowell played Alex DeLarge, who leads a group of criminals and often engages in horrific actions. After his imprisonment, Alex agrees to participate in a clinical trial that sees his eyes forced open as he is forced to watch scenes of depraved violence. The imprisonment changed Alex's life, but it also seriously impacted McDowell. In an interview with The Guardian, McDowell opened up about the consequences of the famous brainwashing scene. Despite having anesthesia in his eyes to avoid feeling actual pain while filming the scene, the doctor administering his eye drops neglected to give him adequate attention. Because of the doctor's dialogue and intense acting, McDowell suffered from an eye injury. Thankfully, he reflects that there were no long-term consequences. Check out his full explanation below. McDowell's injury was completely preventable. The injury only had short-term implications for him. McDowell's scratched cornea is an injury that could have caused long-term issues without adequate care and attention. While it is something that many people experience in day-to-day life, experiencing an eye injury while unable to feel pain or the consequences of that injury is a serious situation. If McDowell's eye became severely hurt, he might not have known at all, and the doctor would have been distracted by his upcoming line. The precautions taken on set were evidently inadequate, given McDowell's experience afterward. The injury was completely preventable, as not issuing the doctor a spoken line would have allowed him to focus solely on protecting McDowell's eyes. The doctor should have been left to care for McDowell and prevent a potential injury, rather than having a distraction in his way. It could have also been prevented by offering the doctor a line off-screen, which could have allowed for some measure of voiceover later in the production cycle. Either option could have prevented McDowell from experiencing an eye injury on set. Kubrick might have intended to remain faithful by offering the doctor some agency during the experiment, but he was not opposed to making changes when discovering issues in the story. The Clockwork Orange book's original ending was different, after all, and presented an entirely different perspective on Alex's story. A Clockwork Orange could have been a safer environment for McDowell. Luckily, his injury was nothing more than a short-term issue, rather than a lifelong complication.